Hey, hello everybody. This is JR. Three Things with JR, episode number 42. It is 2021. It is January. It is cold outside. It is a good day to be inside talking into a microphone. So that's what I'm doing. I've been thoroughly enjoying making this podcast, despite the fact that listenership is not huge. I don't have tons of listeners, but the ones I have, pretty freaking cool. I got a phone call the other day out of the blue, and I'm the type that answers my phone. Even when I'm pretty sure it's somebody calling about a extended car warranty thing, I answer it anyway. And I'm glad I do, because there's always a chance that it's not that, and that it's going to be somebody that I might actually want to talk to. That's what happened the other day. I was getting a call from. I often get calls. Most of the time, the car warranty people are calling from. It'll give like the town or the city and the state where the call is coming from, and it's always from somewhere familiar. A town nearby where I live, a town where I know people. Like, somehow these people are able to ghost these numbers and make it seem like you're getting a call from someone you know. And this one was coming in from Jacksonville, Florida. Now, I do have family in Jacksonville, Florida. And I thought, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and answer it. And sure enough, it was a member of my very extended family. The guy's name is Mike. He's so extended, I cannot remember his last name. But his name is Mike. And he is related to me by marriage, and it's a distant thing. It's my grandmother's brother's kid's kid, her husband. And he's a nice guy, like Mike. I haven't seen him in years. I did see him briefly about a year and a half, 2 years ago, when we went down to South Carolina for his daughter's wedding. I saw him. I didn't really get to interact with him much. He was quite busy that day, being the father of the bride. But I got to see him. Before that, I really hadn't seen much of Mike, since he used to come visit his then girlfriend when she lived with my family when I was a kid. I was a teenager. Kim, my distant cousin, lived with us for a while, and Mike came to visit. And one of the coolest things Mike ever did was let me drive his car around. And it was, at the time, the nicest car I had ever driven. The cars I was used to driving, my mom had a Ford Escort. My dad had a large white Chevy van. My cousin Kim actually let me drive her car when she was living there. It was a 3-cylinder Subaru Justy. It was amazing. But Mike's car was different than all of those. It was a Nissan Maxima. Back when Nissan Maximas, when you could tell that it was a Nissan Maxima coming down the street, it had a more boxy shape than modern Nissan Maximas. Modern Nissan Maximas just look like every other four-door sedan import out there. It could be a Kia, it could be a Honda, it could be a Toyota, it could be a Nissan Maxima, and they're all basically the same now. But at the time, the Nissan Maxima was distinctive. It had this just sort of authoritative, squarish look to it, and it was awesome. That car was fast. It was fun to drive. It had lots of lights. You felt like you were sitting in a cockpit. And it was just amazing. And Mike just let me drive it around. I went and picked up my friends. I had a good time. That's what I remember of Mike. I have always liked Mike for that reason. Haven't spoken to him in many, 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 many years. Out of the blue, he calls simply to say how much he is enjoying the podcast. And he had only listened to one episode, last week's episode, number 41. Episode 1 of Season 2 of Three Things with JR is all he's heard. And he just literally had to call Kim's dad, get my number, and give me a call to let me know that he was enjoying it. He liked the way I described things, storytelling. He was curious about more information about Emmitsburg, Iowa, which was a big topic on last week's show. And it's kind of like why you do things like this. I desire to somehow be involved in performing or show business or music or podcasting or comedy or anything and everything like that. I want to do it. And with the current state of everything, this is kind of what I'm doing. So to have it resonate with somebody, anybody, is amazing. And to get a call like that out of the blue, it just blew me away. And I just have been eagerly awaiting a chance to tell you about it ever since. So I am going to grow this podcast one distant relative at a time. So, Mike, welcome to the fold. I hope Kim shows you how to listen to more podcasts, because podcasts are kind of where it's at right now, and there's a ton of things out there to listen to, including 40 previous episodes of this show. So if you liked episode 41, hopefully you'll like the back catalog, season 1 of Three Things with JR. And thanks, Mike, for the call. I really appreciate it. It was an energizing thing to do, and much appreciated, sir. Had a good week this week, and culminated with Sunday. Kiki and I took the dogs, Rocket and Scherzer, out to a kind of a hot spot, not a COVID. That's the wrong word to use these days. A popular destination in the Charlottesville area. It's a recent thing. They have recently they've taken an old train tunnel that goes through the Blue Ridge Mountains, and they have it's no longer used because modern trains are too big for this old tunnel that was built in the 1850s. They have made it basically a public park. It's free to go there. You can go to either end of the tunnel on either side of the mountain, park in a small parking lot if you can find a space on the weekends. Might take you a little while, and hike to the tunnel and then through the tunnel. The tunnel itself is about a mile long or just under. It is totally dark in the middle of the tunnel. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but the light at the end of the tunnel does not light up the middle of the tunnel at all. You need flashlights. We had headlamps, and it's just cool. It's a cool thing to do. You can go walking in there. You can hike, go on a longer hike if you want. You can ride your bike through there. There were several people mountain biking, although that would be not great on a busy day like a Sunday. That's more of like a Wednesday activity. We were in there on a Sunday, though, so it was crowded. Joggers, runners, hikers, families. It was just awesome. And the dogs loved it. They had a great time. Scherzer does not love other dogs, so we were constantly having to keep him from attacking the other dogs while walking along the path. So it was we had to be vigilant about that. It's not like he's going to kill him, and we actually got Scherzer pretty well under control, to the point where when we saw a dog coming, we would have him sit and stay calm and not growl and bark and lunge and all of that. And so by the end of the day, Scherzer got the point. And I think it was actually a really good sort of training exercise for Scherzer. Rocket just was happy-go-lucky the entire time, seemed to enjoy all of it. We wore him out. It's almost a 5-mile hike from one parking lot to the other and back. And so it was just a great day. The dog slept well. We all slept well. It was a fun hike. So I do recommend going on days when there's less people, and that would be like middle of the week type of stuff. Avoid it on Saturdays and Sundays because you'll be there with quite the crowd. People going in both directions. There was just a ton. But anyway, the tunnel up there at Afton is it's a pretty fun thing to do. I highly recommend it. We did it with the dogs. Shall we get into some things? I think we should. Thing number 1. I had a chance Saturday, to get out my chainsaw and cut up some trees. And this is something I used to do quite a bit in my previous life when I was married and lived with my wife, and we heated the house with wood in a wood stove. We heated with wood, so you gotta have wood, and which means it's sort of a constant responsibility all year long is to be acquiring wood. You need to find trees that are down, cut them up, and bring them to your place, split them up, wherever you can get them, wherever people will let you come get their trees. If you have trees on your property, obviously that's great. So it was a constant job. So and one I never minded doing because it was good exercise. It was just fun to do. I haven't had to do it in a while. I don't currently heat with wood. We do have a fireplace, but we never use it because I don't know, when you don't have to heat with wood, it's not all that alluring to get a fireplace going. So I don't really. But I have wood. When we take it with us when we go camping. So when we have a campfire at our campsite, we've got wood ready to go. So it's good to have wood around. I was playing disc golf, and there is a tree down on the local disc golf course here in Charlottesville. 2 trees, actually, and they were down right where normally a disc golf basket would be. It was temporarily moved, so thankfully it didn't actually damage the disc golf course, but the tree needed to go. And the tree'd been there for a week or two, and nobody had been doing anything with it, so I just figured I'd show up and with my chainsaw and a wheelbarrow and get the wood out of there. Man, it was just great. What I like about it is on the one hand, you're destroying something, right? Like it's brutal. The chainsaw cutting through the tree, tearing it up into a big tree or a big limb, tearing it up into small pieces. You're destroying something, but you are also creating something at the same time. You're creating new firewood. You're creating something that will heat a home, will keep people warm, and it's extremely rewarding because it's a workout. It's destructive, which is always fun, but it's destructive in a productive way. Destructive and productive. It's destructively productive. Is that an oxymoron? Yeah, I think it is, and that's what I like about it. I love oxymorons, apparently. Anyway, I don't want to spend every day, all day, cutting up trees with a chainsaw and hauling them home and getting them chopped up for firewood, but I do like to do it every now and then, and it's been a while since I had done this at all. So I was excited to get the chainsaw out, get out there, and do some work, and yeah, just loved it. So if there's anybody in the Charlottesville area that needs a tree that is probably already cut down. I'm not the type of guy that wants to go out there and like cut trees down, especially if it's near your house or anything. That's not me. Not me at all. I'm not willing to take on that responsibility. But if you've got a tree that's down and it needs to be cut up and stacked or hauled away or whatever, great. I wouldn't mind doing that. I'll take money for doing it. If it's the right circumstance, I might do it for free. And I don't necessarily need the firewood myself. I've got plenty at this point. So it's just a fun activity to do sometimes. I wouldn't want to do it for a living, but I would like to do it occasionally. And getting out the chainsaw is pretty great. So yeah, so there you go. Got the chainsaw out, cut some wood, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's time for a drum solo commercial break, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. Thing number 2. And I've never, even though this show was born out of the pandemic, out of my lack of ability to go out and perform stand-up comedy and my desire to have my own radio show, I decided to finally go ahead and do this and get a podcast going. And it's been wonderful, but it was never about the pandemic. That was not supposed to be like the main topic. So keep that in mind. This next thing is, I would have done this no matter what, even if there wasn't a pandemic. I just want to talk about going to concerts. Thing number 2 is usually something having to do with music. And man, going to concerts is amazing. What do I love about it? there's so much to love about it. It's the shared experience. You have a bunch of people, thousands sometimes, together to listen to the same music. Presumably, everybody in the crowd loves this same band, right? And there's not too many chances in life to listen to the music you like with thousands of other people that like it too, right? That's what concerts are all about. And it's just amazing. Now, there's people that go to concerts like every week. There's people that follow bands around, right? Fish Heads and Grateful Deads and stuff like the Deadheads and all that. I'm not that. I'm not looking to go that often. I I only want to go to certain types of concerts. My favorite concerts are not the type where you sit in the chair and watch and listen. That's okay. I can do that, and I can probably enjoy it. But when I envision going to a concert, what I envision is the people that are seated, they're off to the sides or in the back. I am down on the floor, ground level, lower than the stage, looking up at the band. Me and thousands of other people are standing, not sitting. We are into the music. We are jumping when the beat is going. We are moshing or having a mosh pit, running into each other, slamming into each other, throwing each other at each other. When the songs are high energy, when the guitars are shredding, when the beat is going, I want to be there with other people that know the songs, that know when there's a stop in the song so that you stop slam dancing for a half a second and then you start up right again. I want to be surrounded with hot, sweaty people, and I want to run into them and have them run into me, and all in the name of the song. We're doing it in a rhythm that goes with the music. I want to be in that crowd. I want to share our germs, our sweat, our perspiration, our feelings. I want to share the pain and the love of the song, whatever song it is. Now, I've been to many concerts. I've been in many different mosh pit type experiences, and there are happy mosh pits and there are angry mosh pits. Sometimes there's happy mosh pits with one or two angry people in them, and the best experience possible is the happy mosh pit. Now, if you're at like a Metallica concert, something metal like that, there's a pretty good chance there's going to be some very aggressive people in the mosh pit. And that's okay if they're happy about it. But when you get the dude who just stalks around looking for people to pulverize, that's kind of not the spirit I'm looking for. That's a thing. I get it. Fine. It's not my thing. What I'm looking for is the type of mosh pit where everybody is smiling and laughing and running into each other, slamming as hard as possible. You pick someone, you hit them hard, shoulder to shoulder, whatever. You try to knock them down, and then you pick them up so you can do it again. And you got a circle of people that nudge you back into the mosh pit, and it's just amazing. It is an experience that you just don't get anywhere else. It's not a fight. It's not if it's done right, it's not nobody's angry. Everybody's happy, and it's just awesome. And I so want to do that again. I definitely miss the hot, sweaty, rubbing, pushing, moshing to the music experience. And I am very much looking forward to when we get back to doing that. Some of the, in the mosh pit, I'm one of the guys that not only are we going around, hitting everybody, but I'm also the guy that's watching out for everybody. Like, I've seen people get injured in a mosh pit. They go down, they hurt an ankle, a knee, break a finger. I mean, it's things like that. And I feel like my favorite thing to do in the mosh pit is to see those people and help them up, help them out, help them get help, and then I want to go right back in and find the next person that needs my help. I don't know. It's a crazy thing, and that's what I look for. And if I go to a concert and there's anything less than that, it's kind of a letdown. Yeah, I don't mind standing there, jumping, dancing, screaming, and getting into the music. But if there's no mosh pit, I'm kind of bummed out the whole time. So, best mosh pit ever. I've been in a bunch. The best mosh pit ever was the band Gogol Bordello. They are a gypsy punk band made up of folks from all over the world. The music sounds like it's made up of folks from all over the world, and it's awesome. You might not think it's mosh pit like music until you go to their concert and you realize what's happening, and it is all about it. And it is always a happy mosh pit. You cannot be angry at a Gogol Bordello concert. All you can do is just smile and run into somebody. So, yeah, that's something I am eagerly awaiting the ability to do again. Thing number 3, I was struggling to come up with something silly or absurd, and then I remembered in my phone, in the notes on my phone, is where I write down thoughts that are going to maybe at some point become a joke that I might use in stand-up comedy. And even through the pandemic, I've still been writing things down, not as often. I don't have a ton of material. I haven't been working on a set or anything like that, but I figured, why not? If I'm not going to be able to go out on stage and perform, why not work on some of this material here? So I'm going to be reading some of this and thinking and talking about it as I read through it. And so if anybody has thoughts on my jokes, don't hesitate to let me know. This may or may not be a fully formed joke in any way at all. So I will tell you this. It is a topic of which I know or shouldn't really know anything about. I'll start by saying this. Here's what I've written down. And I wrote this down months ago. After seeing a commercial on TV, this is what I thought of. I'm such a good boyfriend. I've got no problem buying my lady her tampons. Now, my girlfriend is also pretty amazing because she has never once asked me to go buy her tampons. Unlike my ex-wife, and this, I did go buy tampons or whatever she needed for her monthly thing, right? And in fact, it was something that endeared her to me. She liked the fact that it didn't embarrass me. I would go to the store and get her whichever ones she needed, and I think she kind of liked that. And I was proud of the fact that it didn't bother me at all, and that it was one of the things my wife liked about me. So that's one of the ways I got my wife. She was surprised I would do that, and I learned when I started doing this that there are different sizes and types. There's ones that go in, there's ones that stick to your underwear, there's ones that are basically like a pair of underwear. There's all sorts of different variations on I can't even think of the words. Tampons. I'm just going to call them all tampons because, again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't be talking about this. This is not a topic I am in any way an expert on, other than to tell you that I have gone to the store and bought them, and I got the right ones. That's all I can really say. What I'm thinking, though, and what it struck me when I saw this commercial was, how is it that there's still tampon commercials today? In the year 2021, they have women that don't seem to know about all the different types of tampons. Thankfully, Amy Schumer is in the bathroom just waiting to show you the 5 different boxes of tampons she's got in her purse. And she's just like there to educate the young ladies in the bathroom who seem to have no clue that there's something other than whatever they've been using. She's got 5 boxes of them in her purse, all shapes and sizes, and she's also got the time and the patience to teach young adult females who are about as out of touch with tampon technology as I am. It just strikes me as strange that this needs to be a thing, and that the premise of this commercial seems ridiculous. Which, of course, I mean, I'm judging a commercial, So what am I doing? I don't know. This joke, this might be the end of this joke. I don't hear any of you out there laughing with me. You might be laughing at me struggling through my own joke. It feels right now like I'm at an open mic and I'm bombing right now. So there you go. So I'll end with this. This is another quick, unrelated to tampons note of a joke in my phone because just about a month ago, I got a notice from my contact lens supplier that they are now, because of the pandemic, they are able to do a contactless delivery for my contact lenses, which means it's just an empty box they mail to you with a note inside that says, "Stop touching your eyes during a pandemic." There you go. Was that funny? I hope so. I heard a chuckle out there somewhere. And I think that might be it. Other than the fact that on this same notepad in my phone, I needed a place to jot down notes from the doctor about my dad as he's been going through his experience with COVID. I needed to write down what medications he was on, how to reach the doctor, phone numbers, addresses, things like that. And so all of those notes are right here mixed in with my comedy notes. So it goes right from tampons and contactless delivery of contacts to notes about how much oxygen my dad was getting, what his antibodies and plasmas are looking like, how many more days he'll be in the hospital, things like that. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird mix of stuff there. Maybe I can make some jokes out of that. Maybe not. Probably too soon. All right. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed listening to episode 42 of Three Things with JR. Mike, thanks for joining the fold and giving me a call. I hope this episode brings you as much joy as episode 41 did. I had fun making it, and I look forward to seeing you and talking to you again. There may not be an episode next week. I'm going to be skiing all week next week, and I have a feeling I might not be posting an episode. So maybe 2 weeks from now is when you should look for another Three Things with JR. How about some music to play us home? And I'll see you soon.